I couldn't bear the thought of being oppressed by a man like Nicola, which forced me to raise the child alone and to endure his indifference during the 9 months of my pregnancy. Her eyes, once full of love, now shone with coldness and contempt. Even though I had hoped for change, I realized I had to act now. I retreated to my room and returned with a document in my hand. I bluntly presented Nicola with the divorce papers. He twisted his face in disbelief, exclaiming, "What the hell is this thing?" "Well, it was your idea. Now sign quickly. I'll submit it tomorrow," I challenged. His face and his eyes quickly turned red as my words stung him. "I'll make you regret the way you treated me and looked down on me all this time," I replied, as he cried. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to never miss any exciting story. My name is Alessia. I am 26 years old and I'm a housewife. Until 2 years ago, I worked for an IT consulting company. I met Nicola, my boss, at work when I was 24. It didn't take long for us to fall in love and get married. Nicola, 3 years older than me, was very reliable, especially when he taught me the rules of the trade. We became friends and often went out to dinner together. When he asked me out, I was over the moon, especially since I had never dated anyone before. It was embarrassing, but I didn't share it often. As a novelist, I'd always been more interested in book characters than real men. However, seeing my school and college friends getting married one after another, I started to feel the pressure. When I fell in love with Nicola, I swore he would be my first and last love. So when we started dating and got married a year later, I was completely elated. Nicola was handsome and popular among our colleagues. I was proud to be his wife and many congratulated us. The day after we filed for our marriage registration, Nicola dropped a bombshell. I always wanted my wife to take care of the household chores exclusively. "Don't worry, I can support us both on my income." It was so sudden. She had never talked about it before. I replied that it was not right to leave my job without notice, but Nicola's eyes silenced me. I accepted the situation and devoted myself completely to the household chores. I prepared meals and tried to satisfy Nicola's tastes. Even though I didn't get many comments from him, I wanted a word of appreciation. Our married life was generally peaceful until I became ill and could not get out of bed. Nicola, entering the bedroom, angrily asked what I was doing, his fists clenched with nerves. "I don't feel well. Can you do something yourself?" I asked, hoping for his understanding while coughing. But he, with a scornful tone, replied, "You don't work, and yet you lie down only because you feel a little sick. Pathetic." In disbelief, I got out of bed and began washing the dishes, tears in my eyes. A few days later, I found out I was pregnant. When I told Nicola, he reacted with contempt, saying he didn't want a child and that I would have to raise the baby alone. Soon after, I noticed a receipt indicating that he had stayed at a motel. The discovery shocked me to the core. Didn't Leonardo love me? Wasn't marriage supposed to be between two people who love each other? Months passed and our relationship remained tense. In the 9th month of pregnancy, the situation worsened further. One evening, after an argument over dinner, he insulted me again, and I realized I couldn't go on like this anymore. I presented Nicola with the divorce papers. He, red with anger after a long discussion, signed without too much fuss. I moved in with my parents, and 6 days later our baby was born. Despite Nicola's insistent calls, which I ignored, I felt I had made the right choice. Before you continue, like if you find this story engaging, one day Nicola called me again. I discovered that he had seen a TV program about my family, revealing our wealth. He was furious and wanted a share of the inheritance, but I remained calm and informed him that he would get nothing. In your opinion, did Nicola deserve a second chance? Write it in the comments below. After blocking his number, I focused on my baby and my family. Leonardo continued to pay child support, but I knew his life was falling apart. I felt he had lost everything that mattered. Thanks to the skills I had acquired in previous years, I began to collaborate with my father's company. One day, I met Davide, an old friend from university, with surprise. We had lost touch after graduation, but his presence was reassuring and full of happy memories. Davide told me about his success as an environmental engineer and his commitment to sustainable projects around the world. Knowing what you've been through has made me think, Davide said sincerely. Your strength is truly admirable. I would like to be your sincere friend. He helped me take care of the baby, offered me advice on work, and kept me company on quiet evenings. Alessia, Davide said one day as we were walking with the little one, you have changed so much. You are strong and determined, and I can see that you are happy with your child. Davide's words resonated with me. I felt a deep gratitude for his presence and began to see a bright and hopeful future. One night, while I was preparing dinner, Davide offered to help me. I smiled, feeling a warm wave of affection. Thank you, Davide. I don't know what I would do without you. At that moment, I knew my life had taken a new direction. I had found not just a friend, but someone who made me feel loved and appreciated. My experience with Nicola had taught me to recognize the true value of the people in my life. One evening, while we were walking, Davide took my hand. Alessia, I want to tell you something. Since you came back into my life, I realized how much I missed you. I want to be more than a friend to you and your baby. And so, with the sunset coloring the sky, we promised to face the future together. I had finally found the happiness and security I was looking for, and I knew that with Davide and my baby by my side, nothing could stop me.